Fang Ping stared at the golden-horned beast with a resentful expression. These feet really look like a great lion. Felines are definitely my nemesis. At this time, the golden-horned beast suddenly raised its head and looked at Fang Ping. Fang Ping was stunned, and he continued to condense his chi and blood energy to the golden horn. I couldn't help but curse in my heart. Kill you bastard. After feeding for a while, Fang Ping laughed at the Horned King. I'll go outside and find someone with stronger blood. I'll be a cook for you. The golden-horned beast tilted its head. It means that I don't understand. So Fang Ping began to perform. My chi and blood were weak. If the blood is gone, you will die. I can't feed you anymore. There are a lot of strong chi and blood outside. I'm going to fetch them over and feed you the blood. The golden-horned beast's eyes narrowed, quietly looking at Fang Ping. A drop of cold sweat was drawn on Fang Ping's face. I played it so vividly. You should have understood, just as Fang Ping was thinking. The gold horn stood up and walked over to him and sniffed around. Fang Ping trembled with fright. Then the golden-horned beast fell to the ground with a thud. Went back to sleep. Fang Ping's face was incredulous, he understood. But what I just meant was that I remembered your taste. Go, if you don't come back, I'll go to you. Fang Ping scolded in his heart. Where the hell am I going to find you a strong man? But then his eyes lit up. But now is not the time to think so much. Escape matters. Then he smiled and said the Horned King. Then I'm leaving. The golden horn ignored him. So Fang Ping ran away. It didn't stop me. At this time, Fang Ping increased his speed to the extreme. He rejoiced as he ran. At the cost of tens of millions of wealth and all energy stones, I survived from the mouth of a high-grade demon beast. It's good that his kick is stupid enough. It's all believed. Look at the road ahead. Fang Ping pondered that this time was right. Go in the opposite direction of your feet. I will definitely be able to get out. An hour later, Fang Ping finally ran out of the forest. He stopped, gasping for air. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but rise. It's finally out. He turned his head to look. I saw a cave dancer next to me, just knocked down on earth. The dancers look at each other. Fang Ping glanced at the medal on his chest. Nanny 5-rank dancer. So he pulled his legs and ran back into the forest. Fang Ping couldn't help but curse the damn in his heart. What kind of physique do I have? Did I run in the direction of Heavenly Gate City? I didn't go far. The cave dancer stopped. Fang Ping was stunned. Why don't you chase it? But he reacted immediately. It's also a hanged ghost here. It's no wonder if you're not afraid. So he stopped. So far, one does not do two endlessly. Raising your hand is a 2-time universal gesture. Nai Gakari. Lao Tzu is not afraid. Come and hack me to death. You're a 5-pin. Crying mischievously, the dancer bared his teeth in anger. It didn't take long, where the golden horn is located. Fang Ping suddenly burst out of the forest. I am back. Brought to you by the Big Dick. The gold horn was startled. Hurriedly raised his head. Fang Ping knelt on one knee. He pointed at the cave dancer with a playful face. The cave dancer was confused. In the next second, the golden horned beast suddenly released its spiritual power. With a thud, the cave dancer fell to his knees. Fang Ping was shocked in his heart. Is this foot so strong? The 5-rank dancer was directly pressed down. Anyway, you didn't press me when I first came. It's too weak. Isn't it worth it? Then the golden horn turned its head to look at Fang Ping. Fang Ping looked helpless, I knew. So he shouted at the cave warriors, hey, look at me. The cave warrior looked at him in disbelief. At this scene, Fang Ping raised his hand and condensed his chi and blood energy to the golden horn. Got it and did it. The cave warrior nodded earnestly. Then the next second, he turned around and fled into the forest. The golden horned beast's eyes froze. Majestic spiritual power rushed out. All I heard was clang. The cave dancer was on all fours in an instant, slammed into the ground, and then controlled by mental power, slowly floated in front of Golden Horn. The golden horned beast opened its mouth, directly forcibly devoured the chi and blood energy in his body. The cave dancers let out a scream. Look at the scene. Fang Ping couldn't help but be scared for a while. It's also too brutal. No wonder he didn't kill me directly at the time. Forcibly devoured. The spillage of chi and blood is severe. And let the dancers take the initiative to cohesion. You can absorb it to the maximum. All the blood and chi on the dancer. Feed it before. Every time I was about to run out of chi and blood. It's ready to move. I even call it stupid. If you don't recover in time. That's probably what happened to me. A moment of effort. The blood of the cave dancers was devoured. The body also dried up completely. The golden horn dissipates its spiritual power. The cave dancer's body fell to the ground with a thud. The gold horn burped contentedly. It is the so-called wealth and danger. The boy dared to use the ferocious demon beast. Earn wealth value for yourself. This kid is too daring. At this time, Fang Ping looked at the corpse of the crying dancer on the ground, pondering that the chi and blood of the five-grade powerhouse are more than 4,000 calories. It was sucked dry in an instant, and this Bluefoot doesn't seem to be interested in jerky. So he took off the gloves from the weeping dancer's hands. A pair of C-class gloves and a 5-ring badge. The value should be in the millions. Although get your hands on it. But the system didn't calculate the value of my wealth. That means these things don't belong to me yet. That's only. So he turned to look at the gold horn. With a flattering smile, the Horned King. I've got this set for me. I'm going to use this to arrest you guys. The gold horn glanced at him impatiently. Then he turned his head and closed his eyes. Ding. The system prompt sounds. Wealth increased by 6 million. Fang Ping was happy. Donated to me. Then a wicked smile broke out of his face. That's a good way to go. Lure the enemy to the corpse and enjoy the benefits of the fisherman. Although the energy stone and energy heart are gone. But the value of the weapons of a mid-grade martial artist is not low. We thought about it again. This turtle has a beastly nature. Suddenly unpleasant. It's possible to eat me. Wouldn't it be too much to want to take advantage of him? Immediately, his eyes froze at him. Danger is here. Isn't it dangerous to go out and hunt warriors by yourself? Let's go. When the wealth is worth hundreds of millions leave. It would have been a few million short. As a result, more than 10 million were swallowed. You shall not compensate me. So he said to the golden horned beast to kill the king. Then I'll continue to arrest you for you. Fang Ping came to the outside of the tomb of king. I saw a huge army of caves. It is marching towards the city of hope. Fang Ping was taken aback. This is the army of Tianmen City. Dispatch such a large number of troops. Is it going to war with humans? But why do you appear in the horns of the undead? Northeast of the horned undead. It was not on the march route of the battle between the two cities. Could it be that he wants to let the queen sneak attack Grandmaster Yakong? You can see it at a glance. Is it useful to go the extra mile? Besides, some idle warriors also formed groups. Follow the army to the west of the city. Fang Ping grinned. I'm not going behind enemy lines right now. Kill a few more cave warriors. It can also relieve the pressure on human beings. The warriors of the army cannot. It's not good to lure a team of warriors with a lot of people. If you don't have a weapon, you don't think about it. A squad of siping dancers like this would be the best. So Fang Ping threw a stone at a few people. A weeping dancer grabbed the stone. A few people turned their heads to look. I saw Fang Ping comparing with one with a mocking expression. Two-time universal gestures. Hello there. The three of them shouted. Went to Fang Ping tyrannily. The screen turns. A few of them did the same. The previous 5-rank dancer. The same was crushed to the ground by the golden horned beast with mental power. Fang Ping began to demonstrate to a few people if they understood. If you want to live, do it. Several people quickly nodded. Also according to Fang Ping's appearance. Condensed chi and blood and feed it to the golden horn. Fang Ping silently stood by and watched this scene. These three are quite obedient. It's a pity that you don't have infinite blood. After the three of them released their chi and blood, it was ruthlessly devoured by the golden horn. Fang Ping squatted next to the corpses of the three people. Turning his head to the golden horn, he said to the Horned King, That's all for me. Ding. The system prompt sounds. Wealth is increased by 10 million. Fang Ping's excited nostrils erupted 2 balls of gas. Is this the speed at which you should make money? Afterwards, Fang Ping found another lone cave dancer. He hooked his fingers with an arrogant expression. Ayakari. The cave dancer was stunned. Fang Ping was also stunned. Damn it. Why are you stunned every time you shout like this? Hearing someone shouting at you is kind of killing me. Isn't it supposed to be a big hit? So Fang Ping said hesitantly. Nayakari. The cave dancer raised his hand and pointed to the ground. Fang Ping thought about this arrogant expression and gesture. The next second he turned and ran deeper into the forest. At the same time, a 2-time universal gesture was also presented. I'll kneel to your uncle. The cave dancers couldn't help but be angry. As soon as the soles of his feet stomped on the ground, he chased after them. And the result is the same as the previous cave dancers. After releasing the chi and blood, he was sucked into a dry corpse by the golden horned beast. Fang Ping picked up the weeping dancer's sword. Hey, the king of smiling feet. Here's for me. And the golden horned beast stared at Fang Ping. Fang Ping was stunned. This Bluefoot hasn't eaten enough, so he could only condense his chi and blood and feed it to the golden horn. It's disgusting to see that the wealth is worth hundreds of millions. The teenager's fortune exceeded 100 million. The system is upgraded again. Successfully broke away from Kim. Horned Beast King controls. He unexpectedly found that the army of the cave was not well assembled. How to get back and pass on the information as soon as possible. By this time the cave had turned into night. Fang Ping kept consuming his wealth value. Feed the golden horn weeping blood. He couldn't help but complain in his heart. I still eat so much on this big night. I can't hold you up. Fat to death for a late-night snack. The 3 million wealth value finally fed him. So the Goldhorn fell asleep contentedly. The weapons of the immortal Emperor Weeping Dancer belonged to Fang Ping. The system prompt sounds: increase your wealth by 10 million. The wealth is worth more than 100 million. The system level has been increased. Look at the system interface of the broken reorganization. Fang Ping was excited. Finally, the system upgrade was ushered in. Blink of an eye. The system upgrade is complete. A prompt pops up to unlock new features. All attributes are actively promoted. Fang Ping looked excitedly at the new system interface. All properties are followed by an extra plus sign. In other words, the bone marrow can be refined. Bone marrow is like bone. Skull quenching. Mental strength is up to standard. Wouldn't I soon be able to step into the ranks of grandmasters? However, the price of bone marrow refining is certainly not low. Try. So Fang Ping used the system to quench the bones once. Qi and blood energy quickly swirled around Fang Ping's body. A few breaths of effort. The system beep sounds again. Consume 1 million wealth value. Brittle bones succeed. Fang Ping was immediately distressed. 1 million, I knew it wasn't cheap. It takes 1 million to quench a bone completely. Fortune is worth 177 pieces. That's 177 million. Nearly 200 million. But the next 3 rank martial artists. For 200 million, the bone marrow can be prefabricated in advance. Such an opportunity if it is released. I'm afraid I can break my head. And at this stage, all I need to do is complete the prefabrication of the limb patch. That's 126 million. It's okay enough to explain why I have infinite chi and blood. Next, he took stock of the harvest. The pinnacle of 3 killed a 3-pin, 6 4 frets, and 2 5 frets. I'm sure I'll be shocked by the City of Hope when I go back this time. Next day, Fang Ping took all the equipment and prepared to slip away. He waved at the golden horn. Laughing Horn King. I'll keep arresting you. You can always rest well. But just when Fang Ping had just taken a step, the golden horned beast suddenly raised its head and stared at him. The groove. Fang Ping was so frightened that he couldn't help but curse in his heart. Then he turned his head and said to the king of the feet, I'm going to have to get rid of these weapons. Otherwise, there will not be enough chi and blood. At this time, he was panicked. It's over the calf. He didn't know I was going to run away. The golden horned beast stared at Fang Ping silently. Moments later, he fell to the ground with another thud. Fang Ping secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Basically once in a while. You're still cute, aren't you? Successfully deceived the golden horn. Fang Ping quickly rushed back towards Hope City. When you go out of the forest from the previous side, you will encounter the Tianmen army. So this time I chose to go from the direction of Dongkui City. Dongkui City is located on the northeast side of the Horned Dead Forest. It's safer to walk back to Hope City from here. The disadvantage is that you have to run hundreds of miles more. For me, though, it's a few hours away at full speed. At this time, Fang Ping rushed out of the forest, but he immediately froze in place. Hey, isn't this a meat grinder? Fang Ping scratched her head anxiously. Strange how I got to the grinder. Then where's the place where I met the Tianmen army? Oh, I didn't pay attention to that before. The emblem of the ground weeping warrior. Immediately, he took out the badge of the ground crying warrior from his pocket. The next second, his eyes widened suddenly. It's a sunflower, not a Tianmen tree. So the one I walked on before was Dongkui City. It was the army of Dongkui City. Come to think of it, his face suddenly became solemn. At this time, troops were dispatched. It's not going to attack Hope City with Tianmen City. Dongkui City rarely clash with humans. The powerhouses of Hope City. You may not notice what is going on here. In case my guess is correct, it's not good, so I have to go back and report the news. Humans are powerless to fight against Tianmen City alone. Not to mention the union of the two cities. Thinking about him, he quickly ran towards Hope City. Can be a second. He stopped suddenly. Wait, I thought it was the direction of Tianmen City. As a result, I went to Dongkui City. Then I thought it was the direction of Hope City. It can't be Tianmen City. Damn this way. Almost went wrong again. So he hurriedly turned around and ran in the other direction. That's not right. I crashed to my death in Tianmen City. Finished sprinkling flowers. The other side wants to be out of town. A figure was speeding towards Hope City. In a blink of an eye, he came to the city gate. Stomp on the sole of the feet, and the ground jumped up to the wall. Isn't this the big lion who went out to find Fang Ping? He stood up. The solemn face said that it was not found, and just came out of the Horned Dead Forest. It was almost besieged by 3-6 raid peaks. I even felt the smell of high quality. Huang Jing's brows furrowed. This time it's a little different. In the past, the high-quality products of Tianmen City did not appear until the end. But now we have to retreat early. Personnel, return defense. Hope City, Tang Feng said. Is there going to be a moth? In the past, he often fought against Tianmen City. Generally, it is a large army that directly attacks the city. This time, it was for the army to sweep along the way. The front line was also blocked. Huang Jing did not hesitate. Immediately turned around and walked towards the city. Go and find General Su. The two came to the operational command room. Su Mafu pointed to the sand table and said that he had just received information. I don't know the north, even the west and east. They were all blocked by the powerhouses of Tianmen City. I guess he paused. Then he said solemnly, they want to take Hope City in one fight. If you want to kill me, you can try. Sexy female tutor is furious. My daughter died. My dad is missing. Now even my favorite student. Also missing. How do you calm me down? Just now. Huang Jing and the others came to the combat command room. Huang Jing said disdainfully, let's fight against Tianmen City. It's not a year or two. They really think they can eat Hope City. Shimov said, I'm just guessing. Anyway, now prepare for the worst. The military department has already issued a call-up order, including President Wu. The powerhouses of the demon capital will soon come to reinforce them, unless the Heavenly Gate City comes out. Otherwise, don't try to take Hope City. Huang Jing said hesitantly. Principal Wu led the team. Lu Fengru won't come. Su Mafu said that this was not clear. Probably not. Aren't they on a bad relationship? A drop of cold sweat was cut on Huang Jing's face. That's just as well. Su Mafu asked suspiciously, is it wrong? After a while, Su Mafu exclaimed, you didn't tease me. The missing Fang Ping was Lu Fengru's student. Huang Jing and Tang Feng nodded at the same time. Su Mo glanced at the two of them. In his heart, he secretly cursed the demon dance. More than 90 students went to the ground and cried together. You just lost Lu's students. Even if you lose a few more, it's better than losing this. Hey, that doesn't seem right. Just then a soldier ran in. Report General. Reinforcements from the Demon Capital Martial Arts University are here. On the other side, I hope to become the portal of the cave. The reinforcements of the Demon Warrior came out of the teleportation one after another. Lu Fengru walked in front, said angrily to Wu Quishan behind him, let's go. I'm still waiting for someone to pick you up. Also, put on the Grandmaster shelf. Su Mafu and the others scratched a drop of cold sweat on their faces at the same time. Lu Fengru stepped forward, said lightly, what's going on? Shimov said it was still in the pipeline. Only small-scale scout wars broke out. Lu Fengru said that every time she was in a hurry. When is the day toward tactic ahead? In my opinion, like Commander Li, Minister Zhang came with a few big players. Flatten the gate of heaven. The city again. Wu Quishan also walked over. Tianmen City is not something you say will be flat. The cavern is stronger than us. At the beginning, the First World War in Kyoto led to the sacrifice of more than half of our grandmasters. Humanity cannot afford this price. Lu Fengru scoffed. It is true that quite a few people died. But after that, humans built the largest castle in the Kyoto cave. Stick to it thoroughly. It's like the magic capital here. A big city of hope can really be a place of hope. Wu Quishan reprimanded. You're too aggressive. Lu Fengru said lightly. The military department has its own considerations, right? The big picture is important, right? I'm too lazy to talk to you. Go see my students have a meeting. Don't call me unwanted. As he spoke, he walked out the door. After Lu Fengru left, Wu Quishan reluctantly apologized to a few people. Excuse me. At this time, Huang Jing said hesitantly, Principal Wu. There's something I'll have to do later. Wu Quishan was stunned for a moment. Huang Jing said that Fang Ping was lost. A drop of cold sweat broke out on Wu Quishan's forehead. Raise your hand and stroke your chin. After a moment of silence, he said that the cave was dangerous. Feng Ro can understand that. Huang Jing added that he was not the only one who lost it. Everyone else is fine. Wu Quishan was stunned for a moment, and said that it was me. Let him go alone. Hunting ground weaving dancer. Several of them fell silent. Wu Quishan patted Tang Feng on the shoulder. Turn around and walk out the door. Walk over and look at Hold On. Don't go yet. Avoid Feng Ro. The big war is imminent. You're gonna make a mess for us. After speaking, Wu Quishan and the three of them walked out. In a clearing in the city, Lu Fengru was listening to Zhao Xuemei's report on the situation. You're saying she's out on her own? Zhao Xuemei said that Teacher Tang finished speaking at that time, and he went on his own, and then he never came back. Chun Yunxi said worriedly. Fu Zhangning said that Fang Ping had no sense of direction. Teacher, he is not. Lu Fengru said that there was no party. Xiang Gan and others went deep into the enemy camp. It's time to know how to get back. Then he covered his head and smiled. A Grandmaster. Tu Lupin lost my student in the safe zone. What should I say? At this time, Wu Quishan and the three of them walked over. Huang Jing said, Feng Lao Tang had no malicious intent. You know who he is. This time it was a pure accident. Lu Fengru turned her head to look at Huang Jing. Accident, what about you? Huang Jing said that I followed along. As a result, they encountered the celestial tiger and the ancient spear. Lu Fengru laughed uncontrollably. And then you came back, right? Do you understand that the big picture matters? Rest assured, I'm not going to do anything in Hope City. But then I'm going to go deep into the basement. Said, the power of chi and blood slowly emanated from him. You students, it's best not to let in with friends and family. Wu Quishan scolded loudly. Feng Ro, do you know what you're talking about? Lu Fengru said with a gloomy face, I am anti-human. So what? My daughter died. My dad is missing. My husband may be the culprit who killed his daughter. A monster that has fought for it all his life. Most of my students died. Then he yelled hysterically, in my opinion. The other students are all dead. Fang Ping will not die. But now you tell me. Everyone is fine. He's gone. If I had come in, whose turn will come next? Zhao Xuemei's business. Vichen Yong City? I don't think so. His grandfather was a grandmaster. So Xuemei will die in cave, right? Wu Quishan also roared angrily. Sling the bull. Lao Huang is looking for him. He has already fought against 2 enemy Gao Ping. What else do you want? Do you have to ask someone else to fight for Fang Ping's life? You're satisfied, aren't you? Then he solemnly said that it was because of his own whimsical. Just say the words that threaten humanity. Lu Fengru dared to mess around. I'll kill you, Lu Fengru said with gloomy eyes. If you want to kill me, you can try. Wu Quishan was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Both fists clenched unconsciously. Ignored a few people. Lu Fengru turned to Zhao Xuemei and said, Xuemei, mark my words, all the way to the front with the large army. You need to be involved in the defense this time. Follow Chen Yunxi. Then he turned to Chen Yunxi. Chen Yunxi was frightened. Chen Yunxi, I didn't teach you anything though. But Xuemei is your friend. Don't be separated from him. I'll look for you when he's dead. Chen Yunxi nodded sadly. After speaking, Lu Fengru turned around and left. Huang Jing said, you say. Do you want Xuemei to go back early? Wu Quishan said. This is the more so at this time. The more you think about it. Just send someone to keep an eye on him. Don't let him mess around. It's a troublemaker. He was thinking to himself. Now the City of Hope is locked down. Can't Fang Ping, a 3 level 5, really come back? And the other side at this time, Fang Ping was hiding behind a huge immortal tree. Look out, they're full of cave armies looking for houses. He couldn't help but frown. Hell, I'm gonna get back. It's over, it's over. This time, it's really going to die. How can a hero be so good? The whereabouts of the teenager are revealed. He was chased and killed by the Jade Sky Warriors. At this time, Fang Ping was pondering while running. The Tianmen army was in a group of 100 people. Wander around the periphery of the West Lookout City. A blockade is formed. It is likely to be to block the human warriors. Bring back the news of Dongkue City's troops. Immediately, the corners of his mouth raised slightly. The responsibility is great. I'm afraid I'm going to be a hero when I go back this time. He ducked behind a boulder. To break through the defense, you have to run fast enough. It's secluded enough. So, he turned on the system. Bone marrow refining, although the wealth is not worth much. It can be used to refine the bones of the lower limbs first. The bone marrow will be quenched faster. Outbreaks are also higher. 62 lower limb bones. That's 62 million. Enough to think about. Fang Ping stood up. Immediately, the energy of brittle bones, chi, and blood diffused around him. The system beep continues to sound. Consume 1 million wealth value. Brittle bone progress increased by 10%. Fang Ping scratched her legs hard. It's so painful and itchy. This itches deep into the bone marrow. I want to scratch but can't. It's just so uncomfortable. With the in-depth refining of the bone marrow. Weight gain. The skin is constantly tightening. The hair is also showing signs of falling out. This is to seal off the loss of chi and blood. Signs of the formation of internal circulation. Conta 8. Grandmasters don't deliberately keep their hair. The eyebrows are actually bare. Come to think of it, Fang Ping couldn't help but laugh. At this time, Fang Ping's 999 calorie chi and blood had been stagnant for a long time. Suddenly it clicked to 1,000. And it's rising rapidly. Fang Ping was overjoyed. The upper limit of chi and blood has finally been broken. And it's growing so fast. The 999 card is a boundary. 3 ranked answers are difficult to cross. Even 3 times. The same goes for brittle bones. Only when your bones, body, and meridians are strong. That's the boundary that disappears. A moment later, there was a ding. The system prompt sounds completed the tempering of all lower limb bones. Fang Ping was sweating profusely and panting. He jumped on the spot excitedly. The maximum amount of chi and blood has been increased by 100 calories. The two legs weigh at least 80 pounds. He grinned confidently. Vegoten stronger? It feels like you can kick and kill the galloping dancers. It's still a little uncomfortable after practicing. Gotta stretch a little. So he bent down and began to press his legs. Be a second. There was a crackling sound. A team of cave warriors not far away. And patrol army warriors. It all hit. At the same time, he looked in the direction where the voice came from. Fang Ping was shocked. Oops, why is this so loud? So he quickly jumped out from behind a rock. Started running nonstop. But in front of him, several cave warriors who noticed the movement here ran over too. Fang Ping cursed in his heart towards them and rushed over. However, Fang Ping didn't plan to waste time with them. Took a leap, dodge a shot from a gunman, then swing his sword and slash at a sword-wielding warrior in front of him. When a bang, the long knife of the sword-wielding warrior was directly cut off. Along with his body, he was cut into two pieces. The corners of Fang Ping's mouth lifted. It's really getting faster. Then he stomped on the soles of his feet. The ground leaps high. The phoenix mouth knife was raised above his head. Shout that whoever stands in my way will die. A weeping warrior in front of him was so frightened that he hurriedly raised his sword to defend it. Unexpectedly, Fang Ping fell behind him with a bang. Before he could react, Fang Ping had already slammed out. The weeping warrior was so angry that his forehead twitched slightly. Fang Ping looked back and smiled. Most of the products that chased me this time were defective. There are only a few 5-pins. It's only 100 miles. I can't catch up in half an hour. I'll kill you all when I get to Hope City. And just when he rejoiced, a figure suddenly roared into the sky. Fang Ping was shocked. It's a jade sky powerhouse. A figure in the sky. The soles of the feet slammed on. The void thumped. It swooped down towards Fang Ping like a cannonball. In the moment when you are about to catch up, the right hand quickly clenched into a fist to condense the power of chi and blood. Then he threw a punch. I only heard a bang. The ground exploded in an instant. Fang Ping moved forward to dodge the attack. The body rolls on the ground several times. Barely managed to stabilize his figure. However, the weapons he had previously seized were also scattered all over the ground. The dust clears. A topless ground-crying dancer slowly walked out. Fang Ping also used his weapon step by step at this time. Turn around and run. Forget it, I remember you. I'm gonna kill you next time. Suddenly, his mental power sensed danger. He jerked back. I saw a long sword carrying the power of chi and blood. It's flying toward him. Fang Ping hurriedly dodged sideways. But due to the distance is too close, the long sword still penetrated his left forearm. The weeping dancer cursed. He didn't expect a mere samp-in. I was able to avoid his attacks. Fang Ping didn't dare to stop. He could only drag his injured arm and continue to run forward. In his heart, 10,000 grass and mud horses galloped by. To die, really to die. How can a hero be so good? I should have hid in the horned dead forest and not come out. Then his eyes suddenly lit up. The one in front is Hope City. The punch almost shattered. Oops, keep going like this. Up to 3 punches. I will die at this time. Fang Ping's eyes widened with excitement. I can see hope. I became the one who escaped at the hands of the 6th ranked dancer, plus countless 4 or 5 ranked dancers. Just when he was happy, the cave dancers have already jumped in, come to the top of his head. Fang Ping was taken aback. That's too fast, isn't it? He clenched his phoenix mouth knife suddenly. Turn around and swing it out. Fists and knives collide. There was a screeching sound of metal crashing. The next second, Fang Ping slammed. It flew upside down like a cannonball. In an instant, a distance of tens of zhang was drawn on the ground. He threw a pestle on the ground with one hand, took a leap forward, barely managed to stabilize his figure. Art ate 6 bottles of dancer with one blow. He threw out a mouthful of blood. It's 6 bottles. Even if you block the attack, you're still hurt. Before he could recover, the cave dancer had already dodged in front of him. Fang Ping was taken back. Hurriedly raised his hand. A set of explosive blood, triple slashes to resist. Then a bloody sword spurred out. But the other party is a 6th-ranked martial artist after all. With one hand, he easily crushed the blood sword technique. However, the body of the cave warrior also slid backwards. At this time, Fang Ping suddenly released his spiritual power. At the same time, he excitedly shouted that a Grandmaster was coming. Grandmaster, save me. Fang Ping controlled his mental power. Go around behind the cave warriors. Flicked his hair. The cave warrior was shocked. Hurriedly looked back. But there was no one behind him. Yes. Wait until he turns around again. Fang Ping had already run out far away. The cave dancer was so angry that he yelled. Can be 6 flat dancer speed. How can the square level of 3 squares compare with him? I saw him stomp on the soles of his feet. The ground quickly caught up. Fang Ping was so anxious that he was sweating profusely I couldn't run Lu Ping. Is there any way to stop him? It's out. People die. No matter how many weapons there are, it's useless. So, he threw his right foot, suddenly turned around, throw the phoenix mouth knife with a strong blow. The phoenix mouth knife, carrying the power of weeping blood. There was a cacophony of breaking wind. Burst towards the cave dancers. The cave dancer lifted it with one hand. The phoenix beak knife was flicked away. Fang Ping endured the severe pain. He drew the sword that was stuck in his arm, then put the weapon on the body. One by one, they threw themselves at the cave dancers. He ran as hard as he could. At the same time, he shouted for help. I'm gonna die. The great lion General Su. The cave dancer caught up with him again. Fang Ping hurriedly condensed the chi and blood shield behind him. It is condensed chi and blood shield. In front of the looping dancers, it is simply nothing. The cave dancer threw a punch. I only heard a bang. The chi and blood shield shattered in an instant. The clothes on Fang Ping's back also burst open. Fang Ping directly rolled his eyes. A mouthful of blood spurted out. Then it slammed into the ground like a cannonball. The dust clears. Fang Ping lay motionless on the ground. Blood flowed from his head. The weeping dancers dispersed the power of weeping blood, glanced at him faintly, then walked slowly towards him. In a second, Fang Ping suddenly bounced up in his stunned gaze. And now, the weeping dancer was so angry that his forehead twitched slightly. Roaring at him again, Fang Ping opened his mouth and shouted for help. Someone, he thought to himself. It weren't for the fact that he had eaten broken body pill and refined the inner mansion before. Now the internal organs have been shattered. However, there's enough chi and blood. I can repair an injury all the time. But it goes on like this. Up to 3 punches. I will die in his despair. A burst of charges came. A figure suddenly passed by him. It was the big lion who came to the rescue. I only heard a bang. Ferocious waves suddenly erupted from the place where the two collided. Tang Sung is worthy of being an invincible chess player under the Grandmaster. Directly used the true biography of the bald head. Continuous ordinary punches. The cave warriors were directly beaten and powerless. Blink of an eye. Several fist marks appeared on his body. 2 eyes. A mouthful of blood spurted out. Then he bowed down and shouted angrily. The power of the furious chi and blood crackled all around him. Tang Fong saw this. Hurriedly make a back jump to open the distance. Can be a second. He was in a stunned gaze of the two. Flam turned, swept toward the sky. Tang Fong and the two were stunned. Ran. Fang Ping instantly scolded. You learned from me. Did you pay the tuition fee? The boy escaped death. Brought back important intelligence from the front. However, he was slapped hard by his mentor. What the hell is going on? At this time, Fang Ping took a difficult step. Slowly walked towards Tang Fong. He said with a gloomy face, but he didn't kill him. I thought you were killing 6 pins like a killing machine. I say that 3 products account for 6 products. Can you fight the 9 pins? I'll kill 4 pins. I also killed the peak of the 5 grades. You say, I don't dare to die. A drop of cold sweat slipped on Tang Sung's face. There is no opening. Fang Ping walked in front of him. Tang Sung said to go back to the city for treatment. You're dying. Fang Ping said that he couldn't die. I've got a lot of weapons left on the road. I'm gonna get it back. Tang Sung said, and the weapon was lost. It was picked up by the other party a long time ago. Fang Ping raised his hand. He gestured to the flickering light on the ground in the distance. So he staggered that way. Tang Fong said, Can you move? Ask if you need help. Fang Ping yelled that there was no need. A moment later, Tang Fong carried it on his back. Fang Ping ran towards Hope City. Fang Ping glanced at the 2 weapons in his hand. Side of my heart. The phoenix mouth knife is gone. Only a long knife and spear were recovered. Although he saved his life. But this wave is really a blood loss. Subsequently, he turned his gaze to Tang Fong, to about 200 meters from Hope City. Put me down. Look west out of the city. Tang Fong helped Fang Ping and walked slowly towards the city gate. He took out the captured ground-weeping dancer medal. Wear it around your neck. Tang Fong couldn't believe you. You really killed Wu Ping. Fang Ping grinned and killed 2. It worked for the encounter with 6th-rank martial artist. I can cut through their defenses. Then he took a deep breath. Shouted behind him, what about the 6 pins? Today I will change the battle with you. Wait for me to get to 4th grade. I will kill you. Tang Fong looked confused. What are you doing? Fang Ping said that I fought with Lu Bin. As you can see, God yell, others know. You might even get some money for the treatment. Tang Fang's eyes rolled. Speechless for a while. Boom. The gates of Hope City slowly opened. The 2 walked in. Xiao Shuai stared at the ground crying dancer medal on Fang Ping's chest. Asked brother with a nervous face. The perimeter was blocked by the Tianmen army. You're spitting out a mouthful of blood. A serious face indicates that I am a humble person. Even if you die in battle, never backing down. Xiao Shuai bit his lip excitedly. I couldn't help but tremble. Then he raised his hand and saluted Fang Ping. The surrounding dancers also raised their hands in salute. Then a shout was heard. Fang Ping, Zhao Xuanmei, and a few people ran out. The corners of Fang Ping's mouth are raised, and he's waiting for you. So he said with a weak face. Fortunately, he did not disgrace his life. I cut the 5 products. 1 person at the pinnacle. 1 person was broken at the beginning of the 5 grades. There are countless 4-rank martial artists. I finally have the face to come back. Lu Fengru turned her head and stared at Huang Jin with a sharp gaze. You gave him the task of killing Wu Ping. Huang Jin was taken aback. Did he explain? No. Yes, how could it be possible to let Sampin kill Wu Ping? When the two talked, Fang Ping suddenly collapsed. Several people hurriedly supported him. He was too seriously injured. Take him to the infirmary. It didn't take long. The news spread in the City of Hope. The demon marshal Fang Ping Sampin Jo section kills through the blockade line. Back to Hope City. Kill the pinnacle of the 5 grades. Escape from the hands of the 6-rank powerhouse. At this time, several army warriors were talking on the city wall. A female warrior said, 3 pins kill 4 pins. I have 3 grades and 5 peaks. I dare to believe it. Xiao Shuai said that I think the same way. But when he returned, he was badly injured. I heard that I was chased and killed by Lu Pin for hundreds of miles before I ran back. I also saw with my own eyes the order of the 5 grades that he had captured. The medal is a symbol of the identity and honor of the Emperor Cry Dancer. Unless dead. Otherwise, others will not be able to take it. If we kill the enemy, we will also collect the medal. Do you think he can pick it up? The other 2 couldn't help but sigh for a while, yes. It's really young and promising. The screen turns. Fang Ping lay on the bed in the medical room. Lu Fengru angrily reproached and said, Are you stupid? I'll tell you to pay attention. Don't be calculated. Why do you have to be alone? Fang Ping said with a disapprehensive face that I was not convinced. Teacher Tang has to say that I don't dare to refute it. I'm going to prove him wrong. Lu Fengru raised her eyebrows at such a low-level agitation method. You also take the bait. Huang Jing and Tang Feng. It was very tacit to stand aside. Don't dare to speak. Fang Ping said aggrievedly that the teacher had said that. As a man, I really can't stand it. And do you want your students to be called stealers? Lu Fengru said lightly that I don't care about this. Other than that, they say you don't have a sense of direction. Fang Ping hurriedly raised his hand with an embarrassed face and said nonsense. I have a good sense of direction. Otherwise, how can you run hundreds of miles to break through from the periphery? And I have one more piece of important information. Countless energy stones and high-frequency weapons were thrown for this. Wu Quishan frowned. Hurriedly asked what information. Fang Ping replied solemnly, Dongkue City sent troops. Go from the east road to the west and look at the city. What a few people were taken aback. The situation in Dongkue City is true. Fang Ping took out a captured Earth Crying Dancer medal. I saw the army with my own eyes on the east side of the tomb of the Emperor. This is the soldier badge I captured in Dongkue City. Lu Fengru picked up the badge and showed it to a few people. It is indeed the coat of arms of Dongkue City. There can be no mistake. So Wu Quishan hurriedly walked out. The situation is urgent. I'll report to General Su to confirm. And be a second. Tang Feng snapped and gave Fang Ping a slap with his backhand. Lu Fengru and Huang Jing were both shocked at the same time. Huang Jing yelled at old Tang. What are you doing? The big war is imminent. The seriously injured teenager resolutely said that I would not go back. I'm going to join the fight too. Contribute to humanity. At this time, Tang Feng's face turned blue with anger. I was very annoyed and said such an urgent matter. Why didn't I say it on the way back with you? Fang Ping touched his cheek and said, I don't trust you. I was alone. How can such important intelligence be crossed? If you're a spy, then I'm not going to be killed. Dean, did you say that I did something wrong? Huang Jin said helplessly, I really can't be wrong. In case Old Dawn is a cult. Although this is extremely unlikely. But if it's square, you have to die. Tang Feng was not convinced. Then he asked, what about after entering the city? Fang Ping replied that they were all human beings at that time. How do I say it? Let everyone panic. Then he said, Teacher Tang, with a little mockery. I don't mean to despise you, but what does your IQ really say? Tang Feng was so angry that his forehead twitched slightly. I'm going to step forward right away. Lu Fengru hurriedly raised her hand to block him. Enough is enough, no matter how I say it. Fang Ping can be regarded as passing on the information in a timely manner. And I haven't asked you to settle the previous account. Lu Fengru also stood on Fang Ping's side. Tang Feng yelled angrily. I was excessive. Dongkue City is coming. This is a major event that decided the hope for King Chengxi. At this time, Fang Ping suddenly covered his head and shook it. Then he fell on the bed with a thud. Several people were shocked. Lu Fengru hurriedly helped Fang Ping up. Fang Ping pretended to be weak and said, I'm fine. It was a punch in the head that was hit by that Lupin before. They had been beaten by Mr. Tang and had a bit of an injury. Lu Fengru was shocked. Your head was hit by Lu Ping. Fang Ping secretly laughed in his heart. I didn't lie about what I just hit. Huang Jin looked at Tang Feng, said reproachfully, Don, look at what you're doing. Tang Feng looked at his palm with a stunned expression. I didn't even try it. Fang Ping rubbed his head and said, Dean, I'm dying. I was given a backlist. Is that how you treat the heroes here? A drop of cold sweat cut on Huang Jin's forehead. It's not a bad treat for you. Now the big war is imminent. Resources are urgently needed, but let's talk about it. What you'll need. Fang Ping raised his index finger. A harmless expression on the face of humans and animals. Not much. 2,000 credits. Plus 2 life return sheets. Take my 2 more C-class weapons. Just switch to a B-class long knife. Huang Jing's eyes rolled. Scolded in his heart, you don't want much of what you call it. By the weight of the weapon that is now used by the square. B-rank knives require at least 2,000 HP. Those 2 weapons can only cancel out a maximum of 1,000 HP. Plus an added bonus. That's worth hundreds of millions. Besides, it is generally a person of Lu Fengru's rank. We'll use B-class weapons. Fang Ping said Dean, in order to send back intelligence. I lost all my weapons and energy stones, and I'm not a white medicine either. Both weapons were surrendered. Huang Jin pinched the Jinling acupoint. It's a headache to say that you don't need BGs. Wasting to see Huang Jing did not agree. Fang Ping increased the output, so he lowered his head. Slightly distracted, he said, you know, I ran all the way back. How many times have you faced death? All the elixirs brought to the cave have also been used. You said I wouldn't come back if I hid behind. You dare not wait for him to finish. Fang Ping calmly asked himself. Teacher Tang changed to another third-grade martial artist. Dare to risk 10 deaths to cross the defense line. You dare to say so ruthlessly. Your situation at that time may not be able to survive for the 4-rank martial artist. You just need to be 1 step late. I'm not going to die. At this moment, you won't know anything about Dongkue City. Don't say anything about others. Let's say now, there are 3 or 5 strong people in front of you who are higher in grade than you. Waiting for you, do you dare to kill it? Then he said loudly with righteous indignation. It's not about asking for benefit from the school. I just want to get more cultivation resources and get stronger as soon as possible. Only when you become stronger can you make more contributions to mankind. Am I doing something wrong? Tang Feng was sweating profusely when Fang Ping said it. He rendered speechless. Huang Jing on the side looked at him with pimple eyes. If you want to say it, don't open your mouth. Isn't old Tang looking for abuse? Then Huang Jing said with an embarrassed face that you didn't do anything wrong. I can grant you your request. At the same time, he thought to himself that this kind of effort should not be reciprocated. But Fang Ping's intelligence is also worth it. The dancers are realistic. The need for cultivation resources is understandable. Fang Ping smiled lightly and said thank you, Dean. He seemed calm on the surface. In fact, I am happy in my heart. Then Huang Jing smiled and said that you should take care of your injuries. Let's look back at 5 at night. Fang Ping was stunned. Looking back 5, what about the others? He wondered why he let me go back. Huang Jing said that everyone else must participate in the defense. Fang Ping's brows furrowed slightly. After a moment of silence, he said, then I won't go back. Go back now. People must think I'm scared of death again. So he looked up. Dean Xiang Huang Jing. Can you give me the credits, ammunition, and weapons now? Restore combat power as soon as possible. So anxious. Huang Jing said with a stunned face. Yes, but the credits don't work here. Fang Ping scratched his cheeks and smiled. I'll take it first. Even if you die in battle, you'll be on the account. Can it be left to the family? Listen to Fang Ping's words. Huang Jing and the others couldn't help but be slightly stunned. Then Huang Jing said, since you have decided to stay, then stay. Something will be delivered soon. After speaking, Huang Jing and Tang Feng walked towards the infirmary. Teacher Tang. Tang Feng just walked to the door. Fang Ping's voice came from behind him. Tang Feng stopped. Fang Ping said with a wicked smile on his face, you saved my life. I remember this. You owe me several lives. Isn't it time to compensate me for dozens of life orders? Tang Feng's face instantly became gloomy. I'll talk about it until you beat me. After saying that, there was a bang. Forcefully close the door and leave. Lu Fengru said helplessly, this is your mistake. As he spoke, he put his arms around Fang Ping's neck. Laughed excitedly. Actually dared to provoke Tang Lion in person. You're inflated. Yes, half of the demeanor of an old lady. Fang Ping leaned against his chest. Smiled awkwardly. Don't hug any longer. Then Lu Fengru only got up and looked at Fang Ping quietly. A drop of cold sweat was drawn on Fang Ping's face. Look at him, with a smile too. A moment later, Lu Fengru said earnestly, "You should go back." Fang Ping made meritorious contributions. The jackpot is in place. Good guy, this big knife is too handsome, isn't it? At this time, Lu Fengru said to Fang Ping, "You are so seriously injured. It's time to go back. 2 cities are coming. The Great War will break out either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow." Fang Ping smiled and said that they were still there. "And there are so many clans in Hope City. I didn't dare to stay. What to do in the future when you face a strong enemy alone?" Lu Fengru said that they had to go up, not allowed in caves. "Retreat, but you're not the same. Just made a great achievement. So you can go." Fang Ping said he was not afraid. "I think we can win, if it weren't for the concern of Grandmaster Huagua. Slaughter them." Lu Fengru said that you want to be beautiful. 13 cities in the Devil's City Caves. It means that there are at least 13 city lords of the 9th grade. There are only a few human beings. Japan 30 or so. Once a big war breaks out, the depths of the cave are infested with strong men. Sweeping away Hope City is possible. Fang Ping said with a serious face. "Then I'll have to stay. If you all die, I'm alive. No one can prove that I am a hero." Lu Fengru scolded an idiot. Then he sighed helplessly, and every time he started a war, the inferior ones are the ones who suffer the most casualties. Now that you've made up your mind to stay, then don't die so soon. Fang Ping smiled. "No, I think I'm going to have a big life." And he lifted his right foot, shook in front of Lu Fengru. Lu Fengru said, "What are you doing?" "It's smoke to my eyes." Fang Ping's eyes lit up and said, "Teacher, don't you think I'm a little different?" Lu Fengru stared at his feet for a moment. The next second, his eyes widened suddenly, exclaimed in disbelief, "Bone marrow like mercury." Then he picked up Fang Ping with one hand. "This weight is indeed unusual. How to do it?" Fang Ping rolled his eyes. "I'm not a dog. It's a shame. If this is to be seen, I must have been shot on the spot." So he hurriedly said that. "You put me down first." As he spoke, Zhao Shumei and others walked in. Fang Ping secretly cursed in his heart. "My damn crow's mouth." Saw someone come in. Lu Fengru let go of Fang Ping. "I still have something to do. You talk and walk out." Fang Ping complained in his heart. "I am an injured person." Feet a few people looking at each other. Fu Channing was the first to speak that Fang Ping. Fang Ping interrupted him. Said lightly, "In fact, it was also the path I chose. I don't blame you guys. But you hurt me." Then he looked at Qin Yunxi. "Then stretch out your palm." Yunxi gave me a few resurrection pills. Mend my wounded heart. Qin Yunxi hurriedly took out a bottle of resurrection pill from his bag. Shyly handed it to Fang Ping. Several of them opened their mouths wide at the same time. "Yunxi, you're really giving." Fang Ping looked at Qin Yunxi in astonishment. The return order handed over, raised his hand, and coughed dryly. "Forget it. I don't eat borrowed food. I'll give it to me when I save you one day." Fang Su is not bullied. Now no one doubts that I am afraid of death. You can't kill a strong enemy. Yang Xiaoman clasped his hands in front of his chest. Said angrily, "Don't save me. I don't have the money to give." Fang Ping said that he didn't want to save you. "You and Zhao Lei want me to save 10 back to the list. Don't think about it otherwise." Yang Xiaoman made a grimace. "No, Zhao Lei's face it twitched. When did Lao Tzu provoke you again?" Fu Chengjing gasped with curiosity. Fang Ping's 5th-grade peak was really killed by you. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows. "How to heal? My strength?" Fu Chengjing said with a wicked smile. "It's not like you're thinking. The big war together. If everybody thinks you can kill the 5 pins, if you encounter 5 pins, it will lead you. Then it's better to be honest." Fang Ping looked at each other. A mouthful of spit squirted. "Yes, I really want to think that I kill 5 products like killing chickens. Then I'm not going to die." So he laughed awkwardly. "I murdered them by a ploy. No more defective products. That's definitely what I'm killing. Don't comfort yourselves." "I'm one mine." Several people couldn't help but laugh. Zhao Xuemei said excitedly, "I heard that you confiscated the badge of the 5-rank dancer. Can you show us?" Looking at the cave dancer badge that Fang Ping took out, several people were instantly shocked. "So much. When will I get the medal of the 5 grades?" The gap with Fang Ping is really getting bigger and bigger. "Surprise awash." Several people Fang Ping said. "That's what you see. Can't take away." Several people turned their heads at the same time and gave him a blank look. There was a burst of complaints in my heart. "Do you think we love to take advantage of us as much as you do?" Soon, the benefits promised by the yellow police officer to Fang Ping were in place. Look at the system panel. The corners of Fang Ping's mouth raised slightly. Credits, ammunition, and weapons are counted down. The knife system is valued at nearly 50 million. I actually used 50 million knives. Good guy, this knife has the flavor of the second master. He then lifted his injured left hand. The value of wealth also grows too. It allows me to continue to refine the bone marrow of the upper limb bones. This time the injury was severe, especially the left hand. It is necessary to recover as soon as possible before the big war. So Fang Ping didn't drag the tower. Immediately began to refine the bone marrow. Repair injuries. By refining the bone marrow, it can strengthen the strength of the body and qi and blood. Faster recovery. 8 strong people. Strong defense and fast recovery. It is said that the golden body is not bad. It's because of the bone marrow. Before you know it, it's night. Fang Ping's tempering is still in progress. He pondered in his mind. After the qi and blood break through 999 calories, the ceiling began to grow rapidly. An increase in the upper limit means an increase in physique. The explosive moves are more powerful. But the whiteboard's bloody knife has been stuck in the quadruple slash. You can only slash out a burst of 350 calories at most. The reason why I was able to kill the Siping warriors is because I'm slashing continuously. Don't give your opponent time to react. And the real trick explosion is a one-move kill. The advantage of the bloody knife is that it stacks burst damage. It's not hard to master, but the disadvantages are also obvious. Encountering a strong opponent is likely to be interrupted. The slash bursts out with maximum power. In the same tier, if you don't rely on infinite qi and blood, I shouldn't even be able to beat the top 10 of the 3-product list. Combat experience, means, and moves are lacking. This experience made me realize the cave is indeed an excellent place to cultivate. Take advantage of this big war. Be sure to cultivate the bloody crazy knife to 5 consecutive slashes. This can at least be worth the explosion of other people's 400 calories. Wait out of the cave. Then elevate yourself to the pinnacle of the 3rd grade. Cultivate a single move outbreak tactic. I believe in the top 3 on the sampling list. I can rely on it too. Real standing squeeze in. At this time, the system prompt sounds. Completed all upper limb bone tempering. Fang Ping's left hand suddenly exerted force. Smack. The bandage on his arm was shattered in an instant. Fang Ping shook his left arm. It may not be long before the corners of his mouth are raised excitedly. I'll be on the same street as Wang. And Qin Fengqin. I don't know if he broke through. It shouldn't be so fast. Come to think of it, he couldn't help but smirk. Sure enough, I am the child of destiny. At this time, on the other side, there was a demon martial arts lecture hall. Qin Fengqin was clasping her hands in front of her chest. Sit on the stool below. Question time. What is Qin Fengqin doing in the lecture hall? Has she broken through the 4th grade? In a long hallway outside the conference room, Fang Ping sat on the stone bench and fell into deep thought. On the side, Qin Fengqin happened to pass by at this time. Seeing that Fang Ping's state was a little bad, then he sat on the side of Fang Ping. What do you think about grinning? Fang Ping was silent for a moment. I was thinking. Mr. Wu went with us to do the task. Even the body did not come back. I should at least wait for the enemy to retreat and look for it. I'm still thinking. I'm better than you. With great power comes great responsibility. None of you left. I can't even go. I don't want to go back now and be called a coward. After all, we are also people who want face. Fang Ping shook his head slightly. I was too scared of death to continue to tell. I still have so much to do. If I'm going to die, how sad my parents and sister must be. Now mid-grade martial artists can be seen everywhere. Is it useful for me to be a 3-rank martial artist? I'll come back when I get to the Grandmaster. If you die now, you won't have a chance. Fang Ping sighed heavily. Mr. Tang is right. The Grandmaster is powerful. Grandmasters are stronger. If everyone waits for the Grandmaster to fight again, that humanity would have perished long ago. You say how people are so complicated. Qin Fengqin disagreed. Laughing he, tangled fart. Why do you think so much? If you want to stay, you can stay. You can go as long as you want. It's not like you didn't fight or kill. No one will say anything. As for Mr. Wu, they died here. I have to give a thumbs up and say it's amazing. The moment they walked into the cave, all with the heart of death. You think you're here to enjoy the mountains and rivers, fight monsters and upgrade it. Then patted Fang Ping's shoulder. Go on, actually, I can understand you. After all, it's the first time. It's okay. Wait until your friend dies. A loved one died. Fang Ping heard this. Somewhat annoyed. You're cursing me. Qin Feng cursed you lazily. I'm telling the truth. Do you know why I'm always swiping alone? Fang Ping was slightly stunned. Yes, I met him for the first time since I entered school. It seems that he has always been alone. Qin Fengqin's voice continued to come. My loved ones are dead. It was a team that cried with me. The captain is 1 level higher than me. The guy was always beating and scolding me, Call me stupid as a pig. I was thinking, if it weren't for the fact that this guy was a level higher than me, I can't kill him. As a result, he was really hacked to death. He was still scolding me before he died. Of course I'm scolding him. I was fierce at the time. It's uncomfortable and unbelievable. How can a man die like this? Later I thought about avenging him for a while. Crying creatures that kill all the light. After a while I thought about never crying again. And then I got used to it. Anyway, it's good to get used to it. Life and death are downplayed. Don't think about it so much. I'm not surprised that you're dead in the next second. The next moment, Qin Fengqing's topic changed. So before that, isn't it time to divide the benefits? Ping's face is black and scary. Qin Fengqing shouted loudly, "You kid won't want to swallow it alone. Don't overdo it. Wang Jinya, that bastard is not too much for you. Talk nonsense, talk less. After you finish dividing it, you can stay if you love it. If you love to go, you can go." Fang Ping glanced at Qin Fengqing. Said, "Idiot. You're going to split the account with me. Not necessarily more than what you take now. You take 3 energy hearts. It's worth 2,700 credits. According to what you said, 3 or 7 points. I have at least 2,100 credits. None of the 3 poor folk ghosts had their weapons. You feel like there's something with 2,100 credits." Qin Fengqing was stunned for a moment. Yes. There is an average of 700 credits for a 4-grade product. If any, that's at least one person. You must have more than 23 grams of cultivation energy stones. Then he looked up at the heavens. Oops. The sun is so big. Xiao Fang, let's say goodbye. Never again. Drop the word. The guy left in a hurry. Fang Ping stood in place, shouting that you don't share it with me. Don't regret the next moment. Qin Fengqing returned to the same place. His face was full of confusion. In 3 or 7 points is what I joked about. Think for yourself. If it weren't for me, you can kill 3-4 pins. Fang Ping didn't bother to pay attention to him. If it weren't for me, you can't kill 3-4 pins. Don't talk about it. The two didn't shake him again. Fang Ping took out all the harvest from his marching bag. Qin Fengqing looked at it and judged. 7 basic energy stones can be exchanged for about 100 credits. 6 cultivation energy stones are about 1,200 credits. That's it. In the next second, Qin Fengqing turned around and left. Let's go and divide it like that. Your brother and I are not scheming people. Fang Ping rolled his eyes and knew that you were going to run. It's okay to keep an account. You owe me 10 million. Qin Fengqing heard this. Running faster. The heart said that the debt should be repaid. Jokes are dead. Maybe I'll die someday. Who cares how much you Fang Ping says? I'm not going to pay back if I'm alive anyway. Qin Fengqing left. The system defaults to the allocation principle. Fang Ping looked at the numerical panel. The value of wealth increased by 28 million. The battle lasted only 15 minutes, but I barely stopped exploding, and so on until the end. Fang Ping sighed. This time, nearly 23 million wealth values were consumed. Replenished 23,000 kilocalories of qi and blood. It is equivalent to the sum of the consumption of 3 products. Although I played the effect of a team alone, but the cost is just too much. Logistics department of the military department. Fang Ping would now handed it over. Soon the lady in charge of logistics was smiling. The mission of the Dao Demon Martial Arts. Your teacher came over and gave a presentation. Specifically mentioned, you're doing a great job. The military department is now preparing for war. There's not much that can subsidize you. 3 grade D blood pills, plus 500 military points. With the entry of resources, the wealth of the system then increased by 2.5 million. The lady in charge of logistics wrote a certificate to Fang Ping, while continuing, in the news that you brought back to Dongkui City before, an additional 3,000 points will be awarded. This means that you now have 3,500 military points. Then let Fang Ping sign. Fang Ping couldn't help but say 500 points. So I'm joining the military now. Isn't it a horseback to command the army? Hearing Fang Ping say this, the lady from the logistics department laughed. Then, of course, the military department is also very welcome. A strong person like classmate Fang joined, as long as you have this idea. Fang Ping compared the credits with the military points in his heart. If the 5 college points represent money, then the military points represent honor and military rank. The number of points determines the level of military rank. From low to high, it is divided into commanders and generals. The mean also has requirements for grades. The minimum 4 grades are all low. 6-ranked martial artists can only become generals if they have more than 10,000 points. Take the lead. Join forces with Lao Qin last night. Killed 3 4th rank and more than a dozen 3rd rank. To get 500 points, integrals can be seen from this. The accumulation is very difficult. If you are in the military department, you will serve as a commander. It can already be said to be a one-sided character. For officers of the military department, Fang Ping still admired it very much. Admirable to be admired. But let him stay in the cave for many years. He is also subject to military regulations. He was certainly not used to it. Faced with an invitation from the staff, Fang Ping had no choice but to scratch his head. He just laugh and forget it. Not at the moment. Let's wait until you graduate. Then Fang Ping opened his handbag. You see, I have these things plus the 3 products of the abandoned blood pill that I just subsidized. Can I change to the leather armor of a 6th grade creature? The inner armor can be repaired if it is damaged during the battle. A full set of C-grade alloys has been shelved with not accustomed. The staff thought for a moment. 6 pins of leather armor in your magic martial arts. The value is between 5,000 to 10,000 credits. These things are worth up to 2,000 credits. I'm afraid I can only change you to the leather armor in the middle of the 5th grade. And there's also energy stone in it. This thing will be of great help to your cultivation. You're sure you want to swap it out? Fang Ping nodded to indicate that he was sure. After all, the main role of energy stones is to provide chi and blood. Not very useful to me. War room of the military department. Several elderly people were standing or sitting. The old headmaster of the demon house also practiced here. An old man asked me for a suggestion. Tianmen City and our enmity are as deep as the sea. It's time to attack Tianmen City. An emaciated old man sat next to him. Shaking his head, my opinion is, kill those guys in Dongkuei City. Tianmen City has been fighting with us for so many years. We know what they do. If you kill and destroy Tianmen City, then let's go next. It's about to face the unfamiliar Dongkuei City. The old man who spoke before was a little disapproving. Could it be that all these years of enmity have just been put down? Lao Tzu wanted to be on the verge of death. Kill a few Tianmen City livestock. The thin old man was a little angry with whom Lao Tzu was. Don't have me. The older ones talked for a long time. The old headmaster, who had never spoken, spoke up. The meaning of the military department is to kill the strong people of Tianmen City. Tianmen City is too close to us. Even if you have to face Dongkuei City next, the battle line must also be stretched. Dongkuei City knows less. The first encounter may not kill them. Last night, 14 high-quality people in Tianmen City poured out of the nest. In the afternoon, they will be in the city. I'll fight when the time comes. Commander of the Tiger Army in Tianmen City. Lao Bai and Lao Zhang are 8 products. You 2 are responsible. Kill the other 2 of the 3 commanders. Others kill the 7 pins. Kill a few counts a few. Completely crippled Tianmen City. The Southern Town Guard on side. Wu Xuan, who was respected by the Jopin sect, was a little sad. Several seniors. It's because we're incompetent. The old headmaster chuckled. Okay, it's weird. The old man next to him also agreed. We're a bunch of bad old men. Don't shoot again. I can't move for 2 years. But you'll have to stop the beast. We old guys can't stop it. Jiopin Wu Chuan saluted slightly. Students definitely. Then the old headmaster asked again. By the way, how do we arrange the students of the 2nd and 3rd grades? Wu Chuan said. Teachers rest assured. The military department has agreed. Their evacuation is being organized. The old headmaster stroked his beard. That's good. These little ones are the seeds of our magic dance. Hope that the army in the city can be seen everywhere. The Great War is about to begin. All the dancers in the crypt of the demon city have been recruited. Maybe everyone is used to this kind of scene. The atmosphere in Hope City wasn't what I thought it would be. Too nervous. Looking west over the city, a strong man yelled. Notify non-military personnel. The Zhongping Forbidden Zone Operations Department reported. The inferior warriors went to the city gates to report. All are distributed uniformly. The task is executed immediately. Look west to the east of the city. Fang Ping followed the group of people here. The lieutenant who led the team began to speak. 3 high-grade martial artists, although they can't breathe blood, separated from the body, but can attach chi and blood to weapons. Our mission is to hold this bed crossbow. Supply blood to the crossbow arrows. Shoot the Tekuku warrior who tries to cross the city wall. Have questions? Fang Ping hurriedly said when he heard this. Due Yukong warriors are generally more than 4 grades. Can a crossbow arrow kill? Multiple nodded. Yes, as long as the strength of chi and blood is strong enough. A person is limited in what he or she can do, so the 6 of you need to be divided into 2 groups. Take turns to join forces to attach chi and blood to the crossbow arrows. Just hit. before product will die. Fang Ping nodded slightly. Someone in the team chuckled and said, little brother, this is the first time I've seen this. Oh, hey. Then wait for the enemy to come and show you the insights. How to kill the third product and the fourth product Tianmin City. I thought I could take Hope City. We are understaffed and the strong. We are definitely stronger than the equipment. Multiple interrupted the conversation. Don't think about Tianmin City. Our side is probably facing Dongkue City. I also explained it above, mainly to defeat the Dongkue army. Make them regret it. Let them know. Join forces with the Tianmin army to attack Hope City is their biggest mistake. There are team members who chimed in. That's right, beat the gang of grandsons in Dongkue City. I'm ready to abandon the blood pill. Not enough to use right away. Fang Ping, the team member next to him, asked Fang Ping if he had purchased the abandoned blood pill on his behalf. Speak directly if you need to. Fang Ping expressed his gratitude. Fang Ping looked at the crossbow arrow. I thought if this crossbow bolt was really so powerful. With my infinite blood, isn't it invincible? The cave leads to the square. Future top. There are none in ranks. Fang Ping hurriedly grabbed a teacher and asked, Teacher Luo Fang Ping, aren't we waiting for him? Teacher Luo recalled what Fang Ping said at that time. Teacher Luo asked me to stay in the cave, break through 4 draws, prepare to take charge of the demon force. Then he looked at the crowd and said that he was there. He decided he wanted to stay. It's hard for me to stop me. After all, he's almost the peak of the 3rd grade. I just hope he can come back safely. Come on. Zhao Lei heard this. What, he is almost at the peak of the 3rd grade. Fu Chuning looked up to the sky and sighed. I want to stay too, but I'm only a 2nd class. Zhao Xuanei's face was even more surprised. Fang Ping, how the hell did he do it? Teacher Luo sighed. How to say it? He's a little bit out of sorts. Do not be ye affected. After you go back, you will practice hard. Strive to break through the 3 products as soon as possible. The next time you come in, you won't have a teacher to take you. That's what happened. There was a whining sound outside. The bugle sounded. Fang Ping and the others instantly cheered up all their spirits. The captain who led the team took a deep breath. Prepare for battle in a deep voice. Fang Ping and the others immediately stroked the crossbow arrows made of alloy. Prepare to attach chi and blood. Fang Ping looked at the army in the distance. The army on the opposite side stopped, not moving forward, densely packed with a lot of soldiers. Teacher Luo hurriedly urged everyone to leave quickly. Chun Yunqi looked in the direction of Hope City, very worried. North Gate of Hope City. Heavenly Gate City. The army stopped less than 5 miles from Hope City. The 3 commanders of Tianmin City were suspended in the air. Powerful energy fluctuations are emitted. This side of Hope City, the army has also been assembled, always ready to fight. Wu Quishan, Tang Feng, Huang Jing, Lu Fengru, and other mentors, standing on top of the city walls, coldly looking at the enemy troops on the opposite side. Get ready for battle. I heard a loud bang in the distance. It attracted everyone's attention. Fang Ping was a little shocked. I saw the old principal and 2 old men soaring into the air. The old headmaster chuckled and said, Old guys, don't drop the chain. Someone snorted. The old headmaster did not refute either. Laugh and go. The next moment, several old men flew towards the north. The 3 commanders of Tianmin City in the north also rushed out. Cave warfare. Much faster than Fang Ping imagined. The strong on both sides avoided the army. Fly off into the distance. The armies of the 2 sides have not yet fought. I heard an earth-shattering roar in the distance. One is the most powerful. Energy fluctuations came from afar. A small boss hovers in the air on this side of the cavern. Ghoul in the mouth. The army of the caverns attacked in an instant. Rushed towards Hope City. With a kill from Wukue Mountain. Nearly 1,000 figures flew down from the city walls. I saw Tang Feng, saw Lu Fengru, saw many familiar mentors. Medium-grade powerhouse. It will soon be the same middle-grade powerhouse as the opposite. The battle came together. Both sides have one that deviate from the main battlefield. Kill to the side. Avoid injuring your own low-frequency warriors. It's the same as Qin Fengxing said. The Great War begins. Ice to glacier to river. East of Hope City. Humans and cave dancers have also stood together. Dongkue Qingjun erected a ladder. Get ready to get to the city. Fang Ping was about to move. Then he calmly said steadily, Don't worry that those who are already on the wall will meet the enemy. Soon there will be a mid-grade martial artist floating in the air. The stronger they are, the more we aim for them. Sure enough, as the captain said. The enemies who had come up to the wall had just appeared, and there were people who wanted to stop it. At this time, there are dancers floating in the cave. Prepare to float over the wall. The lieutenant immediately grabbed the bed crossbow. Let Fang Ping recharge. The cave dancer appeared above Hope City. Suddenly, a blood-red crossbow arrow appeared, straight through his chest. Fang Ping took a look at it, hit the enemy, immediately rejoiced. Dongkui Qingju inside. A mid-rank dancer with a shield soars into the air. Fly to Hope City. Many frowned. Hurriedly let people feel the female sword rush energy. At this time, the cave dancer with the shield was almost there. A number of drivers broke into their mothers. Sends out the mother's sword. I saw the cave warrior raising his shield. The bolt was ricocheted. The middle-grade martial artist on the human side raised his sword and rushed forward. Take on the cave warriors. With the addition of the cave warrior with a shield, the city of Hope side suffered heavy losses. Then the second wave of cave products came. The bolts were still ricocheted off the shield. The roll was getting smaller and smaller. Those dancers in the caves with shields. The walls have been climbed. The captain's face changed drastically. It seems that they were prepared. It must be the information of the crossbow arrows in Tianmen City. Tell Dongkui City. Fang Ping's face was anxious. More and more jumping warriors came up. They were struggling. Do you want to go to support? The lieutenant was a little sluggish. Our mission is to take charge of the break-in. Fang Ping was very anxious in his heart. I want to go war. However, in wartime, you must obey military orders. The lieutenant did not approve it. I can't leave without permission. Failure to do so may be considered desertion. We'll look at Fang Ping and speak. Most of our chi and blood are consumed. Do you still have chi and blood? Even those who are middle-grade martial artists. If we go up, we will die. Others also spoke to persuade them. Little brother, we know you want to help. But it's dead. It's worth dying too. See fellow human beings being killed one by one. Fang Ping hurriedly said, I don't want to die. But the one in front of him was a warrior, and blood splashed on the wall. Can I go? I'm afraid of dying of that. I'm Fang Ping. It's the genius who has killed the 5 grades. I'm very strong. Just let me do it myself. As soon as the lieutenant heard this, he said, somewhat shocked, you are the monster who escaped from the hands of the 6 pins. Fang Ping replied loudly. It's my captain pointing in front of me. Give Fang Ping an order. If you don't say it sooner, you won't go soon. The war between humans and the caves. It's in full swing. At this time, the cave wore shield and was a martial artist, already on the walls of Hope City. A human warrior with a weapon in his hand. Fierce fighting. A cave warrior wounds a Terran warrior with a shield. The next second, he raised a long sword in his hand, ready to deliver the final blow to that Terran warrior. That's when it happened. A slanted shadow flew in. I saw Fang Ping holding a long knife in his hand. In an instant, the life of the Emperor Crying Dancer was born. Then he rushed to the other war bands. Looking at Fang Ping's sassy, heroic posture, can't help it. Marvel that a talented dancer is different. I'm still old. But wait until my blood recovers a bit. I should be able to cut one at a time. The officer next to him smiled and slashed you one by one. The first product is about the same. It's a little embarrassing. Randomly refute you shut up. Ish. Many of the officers in the city were watching the sky. An officer was a little worried. He had to come back. At this moment, the sky roared in the distance. The old headmaster and the commander of Tianmen City fought inextricably. The old headmaster unleashed his King Kong fist, rushed towards the enemy. The commander of Tianmen City was equally excited to fight back. Next moment, the old headmaster and the commander of Tianmen City fought each other with their fists. A thumping thump rang out. The old headmaster was careless, hit by the commander of Tianmen City, was knocked straight to the ground. Dusty. The commander of Heavenly Gate City was suspended in the air, overlooking the old headmaster on the ground. He was a little smug, mocking. The old headmaster was furious with the little cub. You almost killed me back then. It's because a few of you are besieging it. I really thought that you could be Lao Tzu's opponent alone. He took a sip as he spoke, spit out the blood from his mouth. The old headmaster went on to fuck it. None of you want to run this time. The commander of Heavenly Gate City smiled contemptuously, cool and stress-free slipping. He attacked. A monster appeared in the air, towards the old headmaster. The old headmaster was waiting for you. Mental three-dimensional. Mental engravement. The old headmaster made the bleeding knife severe. His whole body glowed with gold. The right finger is heaven. A bloody blade appeared, straight into the sky. buzzing. At this time, the old headmaster's arm was already showing signs of collapse. The power is constantly condensing. The commander of Tianmen City on the opposite side was a little shocked. Sweat flowed from his face. The next moment, the old headmaster's eyes froze. "Drink out of your mouth and give me death." This huge bloody blade went straight towards the commander of Tianmen City. The commander of Tianmen City resisted with all his might, but to no avail. The next second, his figure vanished into the blood. At this moment, the entire City of Hope is full of blood. Fang Ping, Lu Fengru, and the others all turn their heads to look at this scene. The expressions are different. Fang Ping's eyes widened. His face was full of disbelief. The figure of the old headmaster slowly dissipated in the air. He looked in the direction of Hope City, whispered in his mouth, "I really want to go back to Mode to see." Soon his figure completely dissipated. Another thin, old man looked in the direction of the old headmaster. "A little sad. The little guy is in a hurry. Walk faster than I am." Another Heavenly Gate City commander on the opposite side. "It's a little scared." His face was full of shock. Ijid, an old man in formal clothes who fought with the third commander of Tianmen City, laughed. There was some sadness in his smile. "The headmaster is dead. I didn't live as long as I did. I thought Boppy would live a long time. Now it seems, didn't expect to surpass me." The faces of the other two Heavenly Gate City commanders changed drastically. They all prepared to escape. The emaciated old man was suspended in the air, whispering in his mouth to escape. As he spoke, he activated the blood knife technique. The massive blood blade reappeared. The old man in formal clothes also echoed. The blood knife technique was also used. Two sky-high blood blades directly slashed at the two Heavenly Gate City commanders. Just listen to the boom constantly. Blood once again filled the entire sky. The figures of the two Heavenly Gate City commanders directly melted. The figure of a thin old man and an old man in formal clothes. It also slowly dissipates. Only the blood in the sky was left. The old headmaster and others, and the commander of Tianmen City died together. The rest of the generals of the Tianmen army and the Donghui army. Signals were given to evacuate. The two armies began to flee. There was even a stampede. This side of Hope City, an officer gave the order to go out of the city and kill. With the opening of the gates of the city of Westlook, numerous Terran warriors slaughtered the cave warriors. Fang Ping held a long knife in his hand, leap off the city walls, rush straight into the cave army, launch an attack explosion. Blood 5 in a row. A large number of cave warriors were eliminated. A large number of Gaoping warriors were killed in battle. Beyond everyone's expectations, the Tianmen army and the Donghui army continued to retreat. The enemy's middle and high grades are pinned down by our strong men in the distance. It cannot be restored. A large number of low-grade warriors in the retreating ranks were killed by us. Direction of Tianmen City. The blue side guards Sherwuchuan and fights with the Lord of Tianmen City. The city lord of Tianmen City lost 3 commanders. Angry energy fluctuations reverberated in the distance. The chase lasted a full hour. The battlefield was littered with severed limbs. Blood stained the ground red. Qin Fengxing walked in the direction where the old principal disappeared. Kneel down. He hammered the ground with his hand. The voice was hysterical. "Tears. Bastards, why should the headmaster go desperately? Are all the Jiuping dancers dead?" Fang Ping looked at Qin Fengxing like this. "I don't feel good either." Then, the officer, suspended in the air, gave the order to clean up the battlefield. "Speed Ilium." Fang Ping looked at Qin Fengxing's scars all over his body. "I want her to deal with the injury." Qin Fengxing was extremely sad and angry at the moment. Fang Ping was also very sad. Huang Jing in the City of Hope couldn't help but sigh for benevolence. "Teacher, the most regrettable thing in their lives is that they can't calm down and cry." Everyone's encouragement. Lu Fengru also shed tears. "The principal always advised me to look at the point. As a result, he himself was the one he couldn't think about the most. The bullshit is strong. What about the 8 products? What about Jupin? It's not like you die. There are no bones left." Huang Jin persuaded everyone while crying. "This time we killed 7 of them. Gaoping Donghui City retreated. But Tianmen City will never stop. We need to cheer up. The battle is not over yet." With the order to return to the city, a large number of Terran warriors, livable, orphans returned to Hope City with his compatriots and booty. Meanwhile, blocked the attack of 2 cities. After that, the 5 of them received the order. All Sanhai warriors must evacuate the cave. Originally before the Great War, There are 49 students from the 3 grades who came in to support. And now only 15 people have returned. The big lion said, "We have not been allowed to enter the cave for the next few months." Fang Ping glanced back, walked into the energy channel. Alloy outside. The 2 people guarding the door became one. Scarface is gone. Fang Ping seemed to have thought of something. "Look at the other distracted gatekeeper." Whispered, "May I ask, Uncle Scar?" Some lonely gatekeepers chuckled at him. I went in and supported. The guy was thinking about catching the ground and crying all day long. Now I'm satisfied. Fang Ping didn't know that Scarface had just entered the cave. Or died in the cave. But he didn't ask again. Too many people have died in the past few days. Doomsday. The moment Fang Ping got off the bus, there are several tutors at the door. Dozens of trainees from the special training class walked up. Fu Changding patted Fang Ping's shoulder. "Laugh and see. I said this guy would definitely come back." Zhao Xuanmei looked at Fang Ping's scars all over his body. Said hurriedly, "Fang Ping, your injuries are so serious." Fang Ping shook his head. "It's okay. It's all cutaneous trauma." Chen Yunxi just looked at Fang Ping quietly. Chen Jinhua, the dean of the Demon Martial Arts Academy, asked everyone, "How was the battle?" The students in the team wept silently. Some wept to the point that some people, including the old headmaster, all 7 grandmasters were killed in battle. There are no bones left. Successfully defeated the 3 commanders of Tianmen City. 5 high-quality generals. Wu Jiangping, Lan Yuru, Zhou Heron, the mentor sacrificed. The body is still in the cave and has not been recovered. Chen Jinhua's face seemed to be much paler. Someone in the crowd choked up in a low voice.